Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. If you are new, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see. Hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and checking out my stitching and interacting and putting up with my constant back and forth to Delaware and Connecticut and changing rooms. Thank you for the feedback for last week. I did really like that setup. And when I get back to Delaware, I definitely want to try to tweak it even more and make it where I'll be filming. I am in Connecticut, so I'm back in the craft room in Connecticut, but I'm in a different position. Usually I'm facing the other way. So you get to see more of my mess. I have so much mess here. We have here a rack of stamps. Behind here we have what I couldn't do. I had extra ribbon, so we have that. We have, and I'll put that down so it's not distracting. I'll show that in a minute. That is a canvas kind of decorative thing I made for my husband's 40th birthday. And then over here we have candy jars full of ribbon. And then just a lot of stuff here that I ran out of room. Happy Saturday, by the way. I drove up yesterday and I only had 4 hours of sleep and I drove for 5.5 hours. So by yesterday afternoon, I had all these plans I was going to tape and get it all done. And I was exhausted. So I took a nap instead. So we're here first thing on Saturday morning instead. It is very dreary today. So hopefully, because I have that extra light, hopefully it comes up a little bit better. But I wanted to show you, this is a really fun thing. If you were having some sort of party, we did this for birthday. You could do anniversary, would be a lot of fun and everything too. My husband is now, this is actually 13 years old because Mo was 53 and this was for his 40th birthday. Basically all I did, I took a little piece of I took one of those cheap canvases you get at Michael's. I dry brushed it. I stamped different stamps on it, just these are little stickers that I put little corners. So I had corner elements everywhere, some buttons that were just hot glued on. And then these photos have stayed, okay, this one is a little bit coming apart, but for the most part, this has basically stayed in my craft room from place to place that we've gone. And then some twine. And what I did was I have a picture of him and the kids that has happened later on, so I just stick it in there because basically I wanted to make this really about when he was growing up and everything else. So we have all sorts of fun little pictures from when he was really little. His invitation, I used this picture for his invitation, all the way up to family in Ireland and graduation and so on and so forth. So lots of fun, easy to do. It will just take regular old craft paint, dry brush it, you're good to go, and you can have this as a display, and everybody really liked it. It was a lot of fun. So I'm going to keep that down here so it doesn't distract. We'll keep the pretty jars of ribbon though. I coordinated them rainbow color. Maybe next week I'll show you how they're done. I don't know what's happening because that's probably not coming to Delaware with me. Most of what's here is not coming to Delaware with me. So I have to figure out how I'm going to de-stash type of thing. All right, oops, I forgot to put my notes up. So I'm going to put my note right here and back here so that I know what I'm talking about here. Let's get to some stitching though. I bet you it falls. I can guarantee you that note's going to fall. Okay, so I have one finish. I have one finish that I want to show you. I have a bunch of projects that are in progress, and then I have one new start. It's almost like a restart. I had started it ages ago, didn't like the fabric it was on, and so I decided I want to start it again. First off, I'm going to show you, normally on the finishes, if it's a digital, I wouldn't necessarily show you the finish because it's done, but I didn't stitch all of this, so I wanted to show you the original pattern. Stone Street Stitchworks, Stone Street Stitch, I believe on Etsy. I link it below. This is the full pattern. It's called 'Twas a Fair Night, and that's what it looks like. And what I did was I just did the house, so I did not do the whole part, and that's what we have. So this is 18 count Gingerbread by Fabrics by Stephanie. I really like Stephanie's fabrics. If you've not tried her before, she's linked in my favorite fabric dyers down below. Now I use Ada, you know that. Her Ada is nice. It's not stiff, but it's not floppy. It's got a good weight to it for stitching in hand. Be fine for other ways of stitching, and she has some great colors. So I would highly recommend her. She's usually backed up a bit, so check her shipping times. And I don't know if there's any supply chain issues with fabrics right now, but a lot of times she'll put that in her notes. So double check that as well. But this is what I have. Done in all of the called for. I do believe I have both anchor and 310 in here because I kind of messed up in the end what I was using. I thought I was using one and then I was using another, but you can't tell. I don't think, I take that back. I did change. I believe it was called 3865 and I wanted to go brighter. So I went with B5200. I really wanted a nice bright white. So this is a lot of fun. I think it can make a really cute ornament if I wanted to. If you check Stone Street's Instagram, I would say a few weeks back, they had a post where they showed this pattern full done, but in multiple colors, house colors. It was gorgeous. And if the red doesn't speak to you, one of those other colors might. It really was beautiful. And I recommend going back and looking at that. But I like Stone Street. I've always really enjoyed, the colors are a bit more muted. A lot of times I use neutrals for these, and I think it matches really well. Oh, and speaking of which, Christmas sweater number 2. Here we go. We got all sorts of crazy lights, and we've got really funky decorated mittens and more mittens and all of that. So, there's another mitten with a snowman on it, I think. So we are embracing the sweater vibe. All right, I think I'm just going to put them right behind me. Here we go. All right, next. Jardin Prive. You know I had to do some of Lady Halloween. So that's what it looks like. Yeah, the color is going to change a little bit. It will eventually, when I get myself in one place all the time, then we'll be able to work really well with things. But we're adapting, right? We adapt, we pivot, we change, and we work with it. Here we go. So this is, and that's the length of it. So now you see the width and the length. This is an 18 count. I have extra there. Smoky Amethyst, and that is from To Die For Fabrics. I really love this purple color. Mostly I focused on, so here you'll see I had done the first 2 books. There's a third book right there, and then the table. These will have stitches, kind of like page stitches. I'll go back and do that. I didn't do that yet. I wanted to do the table, and then I came back up to her, and I did the letter T under her arm. I did more here, and I was starting her arm. And for this one, I did change the light gray. So I'm using if this is the right one right here, 415. It calls for 318. I used 415. And you'll see how that's the light gray right there. Now this is, we do have Gail Phillips is stitching it, and her stitching is always so beautiful. I love watching her stitching. Gail is doing it all in silk and all monochromatic black. Gorgeous. We do have a Sal, hashtag Lady Halloween SAL, if you want to check Instagram, because there are lots of other people that are stitching it too. And if you want to join in, and you do join in, let me know. And in the description box, I list the people that I know of that have let me know they're doing it. And mostly Flosstubes, but I also have an Instagram friend. So if you're doing it and you're just listing it somewhere else, let me know, because I would put you in with all the listings so everybody else can see your beautiful stitching too. So this is Lady Halloween Sal. I can't give her up. I just keep stitching on her each and every week. There is an appeal to me for patterns that have not so many floss changes. I really enjoy that. I think that's part of it. I love all the little motifs and the little bits, so I feel like I'm getting mini finishes. But I think there's also that appeal to just, there's the 3 colors that's charted in. I obviously did her hair in the 2 colors of Etoile purple, and I will do the bubbles in something. I didn't bring my Etoile up, so I'll be doing other stitching until I get back to Delaware and I can play around with my Etoile for the bubbles. So that's Lady Halloween. All right. I have a mixture of Christmas and other, mostly Christmas, but you're actually going to see something you haven't seen probably in 5 or 6 videos. I decided I felt like stitching it, so I pulled it out. This one I do not think I've stitched the week before last. Prairie Schooler, Christmas Tree Farm. I had this one for ages. I knew I wanted to do it just on a white opal, 18 count white opal. Well, I knew white opal until I discovered that I really like 18 count. That I didn't necessarily know that that was what I would be doing it on. And there we are. Again, this one is great because it's lots of little finishes. I concentrated on the house, the tree, and then I started the house here. That one was smaller than the house over here, so I went with this one. And then we could do a couple little trees there. I really enjoy picking a house or a couple of trees or, you know, the deer or whatever, and just really working on it. I am not stitching the border, so you will not see the border. And I'm not sure some of these trees, I'm not sure if I'm going to do them. I'd like just the back stitched ones. I want to see what it looks like without it. And if I like it, I'm going to keep it that way. And I will change the color of the stars and the moon. Just haven't gotten a final decision on that one yet. But that's where this one is. And I am loving it. This is a little harder for me to stitch on because the white opal is a little bit stiffer. So my hands do get tired. So I can't spend a ton of time working on this one. But I do what I can. All right. Now we're taking a trip back several weeks. So if you are new, you wouldn't have seen this experiment that I'm doing. I have this pattern, Plum Tree Sampler Summer in Nantucket. And I had started it in one color and I felt the need to start it in a second as well. And so I have 2 different colorways going and I'm still doing stitch something on this one, then stitch on that one. So they are pretty much in the same exact place. So you can see exactly what they look like. So this first one, I think I started it in this. Yes, I did. Summer Storm, and it's from To Die for Fabrics. You know me and blues. I love blues for anything outdoors, anything along those lines. It is one of my favorite things to use color-wise. And this week I concentrated on getting the lighthouse finished as much as possible. I think I have some back stitching there to do, but that was what I really focused on for these 2. And then, you know, in a couple of my summer ones, I've done more of a warm kind of gold type of look. And for some reason, I just felt like a couple months later, I wanted to do it also in this color. So this is called Gilded by Mystic Fabrics. And again, focus was on the lighthouse. And then I hadn't finished the whale. He still needs an eye, but otherwise he's done as well. So you can see here, really different vibe that you will get depending on what fabric you choose. So really fabric can have a great influence, a big influence in what kind of mood or vibe you want your piece to kind of give to people. And I like them both. And I bet you everybody has their own favorite. And it'll be different because everybody's kind of aesthetics are different and what you're looking for vibe-wise. The one thing I'm going to change, so far everything is the same color-wise with this, but my notes almost went. I think I'm going to change this whale down here. It's not really going to show up on the blue very well. So I may change it to the same color as the whale up here, because that one does show up on both colors really nicely, as you'll see, especially the blue. So that's the one thing I might change. But there we go. So still so interesting. Really love this experiment. I could totally see doing it for other things as well. But definitely look at your fabrics and look at them in an eye of what am I looking for? And that's where the floss tosses come in handy. And then even just stitching it sometimes is just, it's a lot of fun. Pick a small piece if you want to stitch it in a couple different, if you want to have kind of that experiment. All right, we're going back to Christmas, and we're staying in Christmas. I'm sure my Christmas stitching will wrap down soon. I probably will still do some throughout the year just because, you know, I want to get these things done. But it won't be as heavy a focus, you know, in the coming weeks. But I'm still enjoying it, so why not do it? My next one's a tiny, so we're coming with some small pieces now. I've already showed you my bigger pieces. This is Wee Santa 2020 from Heart and Hand. Super cute. I love these little guys. And that's what he looks like. I don't know if I go back, what it looks like, and then forward color-wise. I know I kind of wash out, but really you're looking at the piece anyway. So I got a good chunk of him done. I'm still working on his body, starting to get ready with his little pants here. Changes. What did I do? I changed his face. So like Prairie Schooler and Lizzie Kate, this face was too pink for me. So instead of 818, I used 738 for the face, and I changed his nose and his cheeks to 758. And I accidentally, he's supposed to have really bright pink lips here. I wouldn't have done that color, but I accidentally just stitched and didn't pay attention to the pattern, and I'm fine with it. I don't think it needs it. That's the only change though. Everything else I have used the DMC alternatives because everything is DMC for me. At least everything I'm stitching right now. So that's that. Alrighty, we have got one more current project and then I have a new project to show you. Here we go. Oh, I should show you the original first. That one is a digital. Let's see here. Cherry Hill. Yes, Cherry Hill. What's her official Etsy name? Cherry Hill Stitchery. This one's called Merry Christmas. Here's the full pattern. Try not to get the reflection of the ring light. So that's what it looks like. And I didn't go quite with the beige background, but I went along those lines. It's kind of a beigey, grayish thing. I went with the gray, but a little bit more gray. And this is, I love this fabric. This is Chinchilla by Mystic Fabrics. In fact, I just ordered another fat quarter because there are some winter pieces that I think I would really love on this. What I love about it, first off, you can see the white, so that shows up. I mean, obviously, in a chunk, it's better than maybe like stray snowflakes. But, you know, I'll keep that in mind depending on the patterns I'm doing. And I love the movement. So I think one of my Santa flyings, I want to use this fabric. And I think it'll be great because you'll have that as kind of the background sky to Santa over, you know, the little, whatever village, town he's flying over. I think it'll look fantastic because I really like, it's not, as usual, the camera picks this up as a little bit stronger than what the variations in the modeling is. It's not quite as strong, although it is a little bit more noticeable in this colorway than you would some of the other fabrics that I show you. But I think it really works with what I want to do. I haven't 100% decided if I'm going to stitch the Merry Christmas part. I'm going to do everything else and then I'll go back and check. So I finished, my goal was to finish the snowman. I did, and then I also got the little guy standing on him too. Super cute. I think this is the first Cherry Hill I've stitched. I'm enjoying it. She has some really cute patterns, I have to say. I'm not sure if you've checked her out. I will link her, as always, everything in the description box. I link per project, and I do it in the order I talked about. I take my notes and I go right down and list the different projects, the fabric I used. I try to list changes in floss colors if you're interested. And then a lot of times I will try to do links to designers, unless it's like a main one that everybody knows, like Prairie Schooler. You know, you can get them everywhere. I don't link that, but things that, especially people who have their own individual shops, I do like to link, give them some traffic to their shops. And that's it for, oh, I do want to say, I did make a couple color changes. See, this is where the notes come in handy. So most of this pattern is charted in DMC, but there are two, I think it's weeks. I don't have the note there. I think there's two pieces, the green and the red are charted in, I think, Weeks Dye Works. I don't have Weeks, so I went and I changed it to DMC. The green is DMC 895, and the red, maroonish deep red, is 3777, which I think looks great against this gray. So those are really the only two changes. Everything else is the called for DMCs. All right, that's it for current projects. I do have a new project that I decided to start. Back in 2019, I've talked about this before because when I was talking about the Santa's Flying, I had this grand plan. I was going to start 12 things between Thanksgiving and, I don't know if it's Christmas, 12 Christmas stitches. I had a hashtag, the whole bit. And I did little starts and whatever. Back then, I was stitching a lot in either just white, black, cream, or I had discovered vintage country mocha, and I had tea dyed some of my own fabric. So basically, though, all your basic neutrals and everything else. Well, fast forward to now, and you know how much I love using fabric as part of the piece and really enhancing the piece. And sometimes the neutrals do that. So I'm not giving up the neutrals. But I want to show you where I am. I still have the first stitch piece, and it actually looks good on the neutral. She's got it on the neutral, but it wasn't singing to me. So I decided I wanted to change it up. Little Stitcher Shop, really love her stuff. She has the Colors of Christmas series. I had bought the green Christmas, so that's that. And I had started, see the tree in the upper corner there? That's the one. This comes with all three, though. Eventually, I would like to stitch them all. But it kind of got put away, and I stopped stitching it. So this is, I had done Vintage Country Mocha, and that's where I was. Looks fine, and I bet you the green will look nice. I'm not getting rid of this. I will probably stitch it more than once. 18 count. All of this is 18 count that you've seen this week. The white shows up nicely, so you know you're going to get that. And like I said, I think the green is going to show up really nice and be sharp. So I will keep it, and I will probably stitch it. I will finish it. But it wasn't what I was, it wasn't like wowing me right there. And I was going through my projects. I like the pattern. I think it'll make a cute little ornament. And so I decided I wanted to try it again on something else. So I went through my fabrics. I wasn't sure what I wanted, to be quite honest with you. And I saw this. Now this is, I'm curious if it's going to show up on, it's a little bit, probably a little bit more purple than it is, but it's a purple tone. And I thought these colors would look great on a very, very light, delicate kind of purple. I think purple for Christmas is great. Not, you know, maybe like bright, but the subtle kind of lavender, really light kind of colors. This fabric is called Icicle. It's from Under the Sea Fabrics. And, you know, depending on how we show it there, I got, this is one stitching session, like a day. You know how I do stitch. I sit down, maybe stitch for half an hour, then I go around, and then I come back. So I leave my stuff out for the day, and I will go back and forth when I have a few minutes. You know, sometimes after I've eaten a meal, I might take a break for half an hour and do a little bit of stitching, so on and so forth. Some days I just have, you know, okay, I'm going to set aside this hour for stitching, however it works. Each day is different. But that's how much I did. The only thing this is complete except for there's going to be a line, obviously, connecting the ornament to the ribbon. But, again, neither right nor wrong, but totally different vibe, depending on what you're looking for. And I just, as soon as I started doing this, I loved it. I love this color fabric, to be honest with you. And again, this one it'll look cute, but this one was really speaking to me. So I'm not going to do, like I'm doing with Summer in Nantucket and doing both at the same time, I don't think, unless I feel like really inspired. What I'll do is I'll probably do this one, this color exclusively, keep that in there, and maybe work on that again too. But that is one of the 3 patterns from Green Christmas, Little Stitcher. What was it called? Let me see, my iPad here. I should keep it so it stays on. Little Stitcher Shop. I want to make sure I get that right because there's Little Stitch Girl, different designer. Little Stitcher Shop. And she's got, I think there's white Christmas. I think there's red Christmas. She might have a blue Christmas. Let me see if I can see real quick. So you have lots of options. Green Christmas, white Christmas, red Christmas, blue Christmas. Yeah. And the blue's fun actually. I don't have it. But if you wanted to do more of like a teal, look at that. How fun is that? Totally different vibe. So that's my new start. And I'm pretty pleased with my progress, to be honest with you. I think I got a lot done. This one will go, you know, I mean, it's like you just keep going the layers down, and then you've got a few things at the bottom underneath the tree. But I think this one will go pretty quick. All right, that is all of my stitching. Yeah, plans. I would like to continue some of these pieces. I don't know if I'll get any of these pieces finished. I've been going through, because we're getting close to the end of the year, and because I was bringing up my stitching, I was going through to make sure I brought up all my current projects, open projects, and there's a few that are close to a finish. So I might try to do a little bit of that this week. I'm thinking of maybe around the new year, just as we finish 2021 and go into 2022 is when I would do a project parade. A lot of people call them whip parades, but then you got to explain what work in progress, yada yada. So I like to say project parade. Then I don't have to sit there and keep explaining it. But I think at the end of the year, so I might get a finish or two before then that would take them out of the uncompleted project pile. I think I have I counted because I wanted to make sure I had everything. I have probably maybe about 35 or so somewhere along the line in progress pieces. Some much closer to being finished than others. Obviously the giant pieces nowhere near finished. So that's coming in a couple weeks. I'm pretty sure I found them all. I was missing a bag for a little while when I was packing up to come up here, and I was a little panicky because there was about 10 projects missing. I was like, what happened to them all? So I found it. I had put it in a safe place. You know, I do that. Mo laughed at me when I told him. He's like, but it was very, very safe, those projects. So anyway, that's coming. But we'll see if I can get a finish or maybe two before that, so that I don't feel bad. Well, you know, I don't feel bad starting anything anyway, whether I have open projects or not. But we'll just say it. Yeah, that way I don't feel bad starting something. But I'd start it anyway, even if those weren't finished. All right. So those are the plans, kind of loosey-goosey. I'm going to kind of evaluate what I have, what's close to a finish. So you might see some things that you have not seen in a while, or maybe just one or two, in next week's video. Okay. I got some happy mail. I mentioned that last week, and I was able to reach out to a couple people who I had gotten it from, and they said, yeah, feel free to show. And I really want to show because there's a new designer to me that I wanted to show you, and then I just love the other one. It's cute. All right, so first off, we have from Nancy. Nancy sent me a beautiful Christmas card. I love it, love it, love it. I love that look. Wouldn't that be, I don't know if I would stitch all of that, the glittery stuff in like a metallic, but wouldn't that be a beautiful stitch right there? I think that would be gorgeous. I'm sure there's something like that in either Heaven and Earth or Charting Creations or Artisy or somebody. Somebody must have something. But that's the card. I love it, love it, love it. We're really late for our Christmas cards. And I think I was telling Connor, I'm like, we didn't have any of the two of them with them both away. So I said, Shamrock's the star. You guys have been bumped off the Christmas card. It's all Shamrock. But Nancy introduced me to this designer, and who did she say? It's the sister of Diane from Silver Creek Samplers, and you know how much I love Silver Creek. Sister Lou Stitches, and it's called Dare to Be Different. Well, that makes sense. So the designer is Sister Lou Stitches, and that's called Dare to Be Different. Isn't that cute? I love that. I love it as it is. Be super cute, obviously. The other thing you could do is you can take the words out and stitch each one singly. And how cute would that be as ornaments on a tree? I have so many ideas. So thank you so much, Nancy, for introducing me to a new designer. And isn't that cool when they have the related designers? It's like the talent just runs in the family. So I'm super excited with this. And yeah, I different ideas of things I want to do with it. Love it, love it. So that was the first piece of happy mail I got. And then the second piece of happy mail was from Becky. And look at this gorgeous card. I love this. I love this design. I've done similar designs, but I have not done with this. I assume it's a die cut. Yeah, it's a die cut. I love that. It looks great. It really does. And I love the color. I like using brown. I really do. Brown and white, I think, is such a sharp combo. Brown and a light pink, really sharp. I've done even like baby cards with brown and light pink, and I love it. But thank you so much. And she sent me, she knows I like the Prairie Schooler Santa, and she sent me 2008 Santa. She had an extra one. She said, would you like it? I said, yeah, I would love it. Thank you. Isn't that great? I think he's going to look fabulous on the jade fabric. You know, I'm already thinking of that. And I don't know if I set out doing all of them on jade, but I think I might. I think I might, for these guys, just do them all on jade. And then, you know, obviously do other Christmas things in all sorts of other colors, like the lilac purple. Or it's called Icicle, but I'm calling it lilac. But I just love these guys on that jade from Picture This Plus. So I think that's what's going to happen. So thank you. I appreciate that so much, Becky. All right. Let's put those over there. You know, in the cards are all, I'm going to find a way. Right now, they're just up on top of the area, and I have to bring some that I had from here down because I want to have them out on top of my cubes in Delaware. We'll see. I might even want to try to do something fun with them. Otherwise, I don't know. Either way, I want them out and displayed because it's just a lot of fun. I love cards. Love them. I know. Mo always used to laugh at me because, you know, he said, people don't send cards, and that's what you chose to open a store with. Obviously, I don't really sell them as much anymore because I'm just not in a position to have all my stuff in one place and to have supplies and then product. But I was like, yeah, I know, but I just like doing it. So anyway, I'm not giving up cards. E-cards, I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, shopping. I have a little bit of shopping to show you. First, let me just show you the digital that I picked up. I had gotten, no, I hadn't. It wasn't an email. When you favorite things on Etsy, you'll get there's the little bell up top about notifications when somebody, a shop you favorite, adds new items. And so I'll click them on a lot of times to see what somebody is on. Well, Doreen Jones recently added this, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have it. How cute is that? So cute. What is it called? It is called Merry Christmas Scene. And it is a very recent, maybe within, well, I only bought it in the last week. So it's within the last week that she put this out. And when you go to get things, what really put the, it was super cute. And I mean, it's $5.56. It's not, you know, it's not anything crazy price-wise. But a lot of times, a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, some people, when you buy for them, then also as a returning buyer, they offer you coupon codes. And Doreen Jones has one. It's a thank you coupon because I had bought from her before, and it was 20% off, and you just put the coupon code in and away you go. So I got this because I saw a lot of times if you've been sent something, it will say it in the listing, so you can look and see. The other thing you can do when you check out with Etsy is if there's it'll say available coupon codes, and if you click that, it will show you if you've got any. But I mean, this was super cute, and then when I was like 20% off to boot, I had to buy it. So I did pick up that. And then I have a story for this. Last Saturday, I believe it was Saturday, it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. We went to the beach with Shamrock, went for a walk on the beach. He loved it. He rolled around. He got all sand all over his nose, but he was just loving it, loving it. And we went for a walk on the boardwalk, and we were at the end of the boardwalk. This is down in Rehoboth. Behind the ocean was this way, and behind there is like, what water is that? I don't know. You know, there's different parts of the bay and everything else all around that area. And Mo was like, I don't know, you know. I mean, so when we left, we're like, you know, let's go, instead of going back to the house, let's explore a little bit. It was beautiful. I mean, it was 67 degrees, I think. If you've been to the Rehoboth Boardwalk, there is a big sign that always has the temperature. So it was 67 degrees. It was gorgeous. We're like, it's a Saturday afternoon. We have nothing else really. We're just going to go back to the house and do what? I don't know. So we're like, let's go for a drive. So we went that way and figured out where the water was, and we saw that, and we just kept driving a little bit more. And the next beach past Rehoboth is Dewey. And we were like, oh, look at that. We're already in Dewey. And we're like, let's just keep driving. After that, you've got Bethany before you hit Maryland. And we were getting closer to Maryland and Ocean City, and Mo was like, let's go for a ride down to Salty Yarns for you. So Salty Yarns, if you don't know, is down in Ocean City on the boardwalk, is a cross-stitch store. And I was really curious how far it would be, because when I first saw Ocean City, I was like, oh, Ocean City's right over the border between Delaware and Maryland. It'd be right there. Well, there's 130 something little side streets. When you first get to Ocean City, it's like 138th Street is, you know, the parallel street to just the long Route 1 or whatever it is. Well, Salty Yarns is between 8th and 9th Street. So I was like, oh, maybe it's not as close as I thought it was. It wasn't just right over the border. Now, in season, it's probably got to be a disaster. But this is, what, December, middle of December. We said, let's go. So we went and we drove down there. Now, it was middle to late afternoon. They were closing. It wasn't going to be open very long by the time we'd get there. But that's fine. You know, we were kind of exploring Ocean City while we were at it and kind of checking out how far we'd be from this. So that at some other point, when I have a time, I would explore the store. So Mo dropped me off. You know, he stayed in the car with Shamrock. It was a lot windier because they're right on the boardwalk I don't know if it's because they're farther down with the ocean, but the temperature had dropped about 10 degrees between where we were in Rehoboth to down here in Ocean City. Windy, but that's fine. I was going inside. And I went in and I checked it out. There's one main room, not big room, but one main room, and then there's a smaller room off the side. The smaller room had the flosses and the fabrics and all that. And then the main area was chock-a-block. I mean, I don't know how many racks, 50, 75 racks, totally full of patterns. They had some hanging on hooks off the side of the spinner racks. They had other things. There was way too much for me to see in the short period of time. I spent about 15 minutes there, 15, 20 minutes. I just wanted to walk around, get a lay of the land, and I'll have to go back at some point. I mean, to look at everything, it would take forever. But of course, I picked up a couple things while I was there, and I picked up 3 charts. So I didn't go crazy. I was curious to see the fabric, but their 18 count fabric was, I'm sure there could be supply issues, or maybe they don't have a big demand for it. It was mostly a few different colors, regular Zweigart colors. Like, well, I can get that anywhere. There was nothing like designer hand dyed or Picture This Plus or anything else like that. So there were in some other counts, but not in my 18 count. You know how much I love my 18 count. So I didn't do that, which was good. I saved a little bit of money that way. But I did pick up 3. 2, one a designer I had not heard of before, another one that I have never stitched before, and then a pattern I really wanted. So first off, I've never stitched anything from ink circles. And so I picked up, what is this called? It's called Blue Velvet. I thought that was really pretty. Obviously the color drew me. I mean, ink circles, you could do any color you ever wanted, right? You know, I mean, it's really your own pattern. This is actually stitched with Sulky, a Sulky blendable. Yes. But you could do anything you wanted. But the design, because she had, along one of the spinners, they had several ink circles, and this one was the one that really was like, oh, that's pretty. I figured I've never stitched an ink circle before. Let's try it. So I grabbed that one. My first ink circle. Don't tell me I'm going to get hooked, because that'll be somebody else I have to keep buying. This one, I have loved this series. I don't have all of them. I got to look back and see which ones I don't have, though, because that's the thing. I know I didn't have this one. Turkey Day, Time for All Seasons, Cottage Garden Samplings. I love that turkey. I really love that turkey. So I picked that up. And then I had never heard of this designer. It's Lindsay Lane Designs, and this is called Summer's Last Fling. Isn't that pretty? I thought that was so pretty. I love the colors. I love the flower, the floral aspect, but the colors, especially that center cut one. Now, the one thing I will have to do, this is charted in only weeks dye works, so I will have to make adjustments. But I thought that was really, really pretty. Lindsay Lane Designs. I'm going to have to look them up now. So, there's that. All right. Do they have a website? No, there's an email. Oh, yeah. Lindsay Lane Designs. www, but they don't have a com. But I assume they just forgot that part. Yeah. So, that's my last. That was it. That's what I bought. I went to the store and I only got 3 patterns. I thought I was pretty proud of myself. I could have gotten more, but I'll save that for another time. This was more of a let's check it out kind of thing, because I've never been that far. And we figured out off season, when it's not in the middle of summer, it takes about 45 minutes to get from where I am in Rehoboth to where they are in Ocean City. So that's not too bad. I could kind of leave early in the day if I wanted to make kind of a day of it type of thing. So we'll see. There might be a trip there at some other point. I'll keep you posted. And that's it. All right, what do we have? We have giveaways left, and then we'll be done, which is good because I've talked a lot already. Okay, so in this saga of my Green Terrace saga, I'm not going to explain it right now. I will if this person doesn't get back to me next week and I have to pick another name. 1 week reminder for Mad Morty. You are my 3rd attempt to give away Green Terrace. So it's been 1 week. I will give you 1 more week. And next week, if I haven't heard from you, or next video, which I assume will be next week, next video, I will choose a new name. I have kept all the names and everything. We're good to go. So Green Terrace, 1 more week on that. I finally got some of the other things almost all gone. So we are good. I do have 1 Australia winner, and I will ship everywhere. You know that, or I hope you know that. And if I haven't said it recently, I know right now with Australia, I can't ship because things are not going how I ship. They weren't letting, I did a Google search. Let me know if it's changed, but excuse me, talking too much now. The Google search is as recent as I could find said that they were still not letting things come in that I wouldn't be able to ship. So I'm holding that for my winner. You are more than welcome to enter the giveaways. And if I can't ship to you right now, I will hold it. It's not your fault that the shipping won't work. So I'm not gonna send, once you've won it and you've gotten back to me with your address, you've got it. As soon as they say, yes, we're good to go for shipping, then I will ship it. have it. And it's not in such a safe place that I won't be able to find it. I know where it is. I promise I won't lose it on you. So feel free to enter, but just know that it might be a little bit of time before I can get it to you, but I promise I will. This week's giveaway is this adorable Trimming the Tree pattern from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. This is the one I bought. The winner will get the one that's still in the package, but I figured I want to show you that. So that's what it looks like. That was a new designer for me. I'd found on 123 Stitch, I think. So, I should have been, when I was talking about my Salty Yarns trip, I should have been mixing the names around. I would have had a really good mixture by the time I talked about the whole process. And it was so funny, when we came back up, the temperature went back up again. I mean, it wasn't maybe quite as warm as it was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But it was really amazing, the difference in the air. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. So the winner of that Pansy Patch and Stitch, let me look up so I don't cheat, is Debbie K. So Debbie, I want to put, I'll put it against my iPad here. That's dark right now. Debbie K, congratulations. You have won the Trimming the Tree pattern. So if you get back to me with your address, you can either send it to my Gmail account, which is listed down below, or you can send me, I'm going to put your name right inside the package so I know. Or you can send me a DM on Instagram and I will get that out to you. And I'll ship through the holidays. I don't have a problem doing that. I have a scale. I bring it back and forth so I can weigh everything. I use an online shipping service, Pirate Ship, if anybody would like to, as long as you have a scale and you have the products, you get the same discounts really, as you would in other places. It's free to use. They don't charge you like some of the other places do. And their customer service is really, really good. So if you are looking for that, so I buy the postage that way. I slap it on I print it out, put it on my package. And so this way I don't have to wait in lines at the post office. So that could get out to you through the holidays, unless you wanted me to hold it or whatever. Let me know that. Okay. So Debbie K, congratulations. Happy holidays. All right. This week I thought, okay, people might be starting things new for the holidays. It's not a huge piece, but I have a piece of fabric that I'd like to give away. I am still giving things away from, I had a very generous viewer who had sent me a big box of things for myself and things for giveaways. And she had sent me some fabrics and I've been slowly giving them away. And I meant to take my ruler's not here. I meant to check with my ruler and count the squares. This is not an Ada. This is 28 or higher. I really don't know which one it is. You can see how close. But I thought it was a really pretty color. This would be great for so many patterns and it's very versatile. So that's the size of it. You can see. So not huge, but you could get something decent on it, or you could get a few different things on it. So that is this week's giveaway. If you would like to put your name into the bowl, we have this bowl here. I left the blue bowl down in Delaware. If you'd like to have your name put in the bowl for the giveaway, please just say the word sleet, S-L-E-E-T, because it is a little sleety here this morning. We're not getting the snow that Massachusetts on up is getting. I think that it's a little too warm, the weather people said here, so I don't think we're getting that. But Mo had taken the dog out and he said, yeah, it was a little bit sleet. So I thought, okay, well, then we'll have that be the word. As usual, I don't always say the rules, but if you watch enough Flosstubes, please be 18 or older. Please don't say giveaway or free. And I would love it if you be a subscriber. I don't care if it's public or private. I don't check. This is all on your word, but I would appreciate it if you were. So that's, I might cut those off so that they're not hanging on you. But there you go. That's this week's giveaway. So next video, I will choose a name for that. The word sleet. Okay. That's the stitching. I have no place I'm going to be. Maybe for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I'll wear this again. We're not going anywhere, so it's not like I can wear this anywhere, but so I gotta flaunt it. No. Anyway, that's the stitching. If you are done, and it's been a long one, I was chatty. If you want to get on to the next stitching one, then have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Personal wise, well, this week was getting Mo off. He left earlier in the week because he had to go pick up Connor. Connor got out of school he had to be out by Wednesday, and then Megan had to be out yesterday, so she got home late last night. So I came home yesterday morning with Shamrock. Shamrock is currently at the groomers, so we are going to have, he was starting to get all straggly around his face, and he doesn't have teeth, so poor guy, when the hair grows long, the hair ends up in his mouth. So, then he's trying to get it out because, it's uncomfortable. And he just gets kind of, even though we try to keep him groomed and whatever, brushed, or, washing his face after he eats and all that stuff, he gets to be a mess. So she's got her work cut out for her today, the groomer does. He's probably got sand all over him now too, because we take him to the beach. But anyway, so him and I had to come up. We came up yesterday morning, which, given the weather here, I'm glad we came yesterday and not today, because that was the thought after my 4 hours of sleep. But I just said, sometimes it's like, if you're traveling, if you're going to go somewhere, I don't know about you, but I have it in my head, okay, I had almost everything packed in the car. So I just had to put a few more things in the car. And I just said, I'm just going to do it. My mindset's in it. It's a travel day. Let's just go and get it traveled. So that's what I did. And then I left really early. I left at 5:45 in the morning because I was up, and traffic was flowing pretty well. About 5.5 hours. There was an accident in Connecticut about 25 miles away from when I would be getting off the highway. I was like, so close, so close. But most of the way, traffic was flowing pretty well. So 5.5 hours it took me. Weather was fine. No problems there. So that was good. So, and like I said, I just kind of took a little nap yesterday afternoon. So I was tired. Yeah. So other than that, Shamrock's got his grooming today. This morning, Aston Villa is one of the few teams playing this weekend. So Mo is all set, getting ready to watch. So we'll sit and we'll watch that. And they're doing better. They're doing better. So, fingers crossed that today will be a good game. So that'll be our morning. Just watching Aston Villa play Burnley. Go Villa. Sorry if you're a Burnley fan. Yeah, just grocery shopping, kind of that kind of stuff. The house is amazing to me. So, for the most part, was empty for the last couple months, and it is so dusty. I'm like, nobody was here. So I have to do some vacuuming and cleaning and all that, and I was just too tired yesterday. So today, I think this weekend, we're going to get figuring out why, when nobody is here, it still generates all sorts of dust. So nothing fun and exciting, some stitching, all that good stuff. I'm still going through I tape my Hallmark Christmas movies. I like to watch them while I'm stitching, as opposed to just staying up and watching. Like, some of them are at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, you know me, I'm in bed by 10 o'clock at night sometimes. So, more times than not, to be honest, never mind sometimes. So I've got my Hallmark movies to catch up on. I'll give my thoughts maybe at the end of the season of which ones. Usually every season there's about 2 or 3 that I just really love. And then, those are the ones each year I try to make sure I watch again, because they just really hit home. So I'll have my thoughts. Maybe that would be a good stitch with me. We can chat Christmas movies. Well, maybe just part of it. I'd have to figure out here where I would stitch, though. I had that great area in Delaware that was perfect, but I don't know here. We'll think about it. Other than that, we're coming up a week from the holidays. I said to the kids, I said, I have not seen anything from you about what you want for Christmas, so I'm pretty sure you can, I don't know if I had said it this last week or how I had said it, but you can sleep in on Christmas morning because we got nothing. So we'll see. I don't know if they want anything local or if it wants to be ordered. I'll get them candy or something. I don't know, that they have something on, but most of the stuff I need their input so that they can get what they want. And that's it. So, but we're coming up. It's going to be, fingers crossed, we can gather next weekend. Everybody in our family is fully vaccinated. Everybody in our family, including the grandparents, is boosted. So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll know more as it gets closer. We'll see how everybody's doing. But I'll figure that out. And if we have to, I hope we don't have to wait. I hope we can see each other next weekend. But we'll see. That's it. I'm just gonna plan along that. I've got Christmas cards to get out because we were really late, and like I said, we ended up making Shamrock the focus, and he is not one of those dogs that will just sit for the camera. If the camera comes out, whether it's phone or regular, whatever, he looks the other direction. So that was fun. That was an experience. And I have a few cards that I wanted to make for the holidays, but I needed to be up here for that because I needed my supplies. I had nothing down there. So everything is going out late this year. They will be 2022 cards, even though they'll all say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever they say on them. But that's all right. That's it. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe. Things right now are just a little bit crazy. So I'm hoping we all just take care of yourself. Eat well as best you can. Hydrate. Do all the things. That helps. I mean, it's not going to make you bulletproof, but it will help and make you, at least even just away from the normal colds and everything else. And I'm thinking about you. I hope you got lots of stitching in, and I'll come at you probably next Friday morning. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I foresee us, not having craziness. We're a small family, so it's not like I have to plan for 25 people. I've got the planning down pretty well. So I should be able to see you next Friday. And hopefully get some stitching in here and there. So until next time, happy stitching.